I ain't done my tax return, mate. Do you mind sorting it out for me? I know it's due tomorrow. Have I got all the paperwork? Yeah. I collected it all. I've got this and this bit and this. This is from in the van, and then this bit's in here. And then this bit's from materials. This is from some fuel and some other materials from another job. And then you just want to take it all. Is that all right? And you can just sort it out. Hang about. And I got. Oh yeah. There's a few receipts as well. What I've been using. So how many of you self-employed tradesmen are like that? Don't lie. I know, because I was like that as well. For ages, it wound me up and I dreaded the tax year coming round. Yeah, I kept all my receipts. That was sort of the easy bit. But then, if I lost them, I'd have been screwed, yeah, I know. But what do I do with them? Just hand them all to the accountant so they can sort of add them all up? And yeah, probably cost me a fortune to do that as well. Or I'd hand it to the accountant and they'd say, right, can you come in for a meeting because I need to ask you a few questions on what this is, what that is. I didn't have enough detail because I just put down like 20 quid that I spent on, I don't know, sandwiches or some screws or some silly little scribble that someone gave me as a receipt at a market one day, which, yeah, it doesn't help the accountant doing that because it costs you more money every time or every hour that they use to sort all your receipts out. It costs you more money. So how are you going to make their life easier to make your accountant cheaper? Well, I've got a solution for you. Right. So this spreadsheet is what I've used over the years now to help me with my accounts. Basically, you don't want to go dumping a shed load of receipts on your accountant because then they go and have to count them up. And you've got to pay for their time, basically. So this will make your life a lot easier and cheaper, save you a bit of money. So basically, all we want to do is you've got a date margin there. Put the date in which you invoiced Mixslow, the address maybe. You don't have to put the address in there, but then you will be an advantage to put an invoice number in there, whether it's 1, whether it's 1001. Just to put an invoice number in there, and you have to put the amount. For every invoice you invoice out for your business, put the invoice out. Say we put one here, which is the 1st of the 1st, 2024. We want to invoice Ben. Let's use a capital letter. We're going to invoice Ben, and he lives at 23 King's Rise. And then the invoice number is 02, whatever. Just put anything in there. Whatever your invoice number is, you've got to number your invoices. The accountant will love you for it. It's a lot easier if you invoice each number. And then we invoiced Ben. We did a board change, so it was 750.99p. And for each invoice that you invoice out, and you can even put for your details in there, rather than the address, you can say, yeah, you pay cash. Because you've got to declare your cash if you want. But, yeah, so you pay cash. So, yes, you've got to declare your cash anyway. You put that in your bank as well. That goes down as your profit and loss. So, you want to put that in there as well, $750.99. And then with every month as well, if you just take a little bit of time, I don't know, maybe an hour a week possibly, if you do 20 minutes every night or anything, just your receipts, when they pile up in your pocket or in your van or in your office sort of thing, just go through and then put the figures into this spreadsheet. It'll help you in the long run. You won't be worrying around at the end of, I think April it is, when we end of the tax year, or the end of January that you've got to do your tax return. This will be a lot easier for your accountant, but even if you use the figures yourself, because these are the figures that you use to fill in your self-assessment. And then for each outgoing as well, which I'll do down here. And the great thing about this is as well, say you got fuel, yeah, that's different, but maybe you've got on the 1st of every month, you've got storage container. And that's, say, £200 a month for your office work or anything like that, or your internet even as well. But you can just copy and paste, say all them are bills
not all of them, sorry. Let's say that storage one is going to be bills that you're going to have every month. So just go through February and you can put it basically in every one. Just you'll use it the same every month. It'd be £200 storage, you know it is. So then these have got the same invoices on there. I've just done this as an example for February. And then every month, so basically every month you've got to fill out this little bit of your invoices and of your outgoings. All your receipts, basically when you go get fuel, when you go to the shop and get some screws, anything like that, fill them all out onto this spreadsheet and go through every month you do it. And then by the time you get to the end of the year, and then after going through every month you'll fill out exactly the same. So you get to December and you fill out exactly the same. Maybe you've CEF, you pay them $525 a month. Maybe this is same as your invoice. Maybe your invoice is the same for every month. You never know. But then at the end of the year, it'll automatically populate a spreadsheet like this. And then this is what your accountant will want to see. Basically, every month, January, February, March, April, May, all of them will be detailed, June, July, everything. All of them will be detailed down here of what your incomes and outgoings are. And from there, it will populate this, which is the totals of every month. Basically, this is what your accountant will want to see, the totals of every month. So then, and it will do exactly the same for your purchases as well. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. All of them, all your ingoings and outgoings, there's plenty of space in there. You can always add space as well for all your invoices and all your outgoings, because this is the amount of stuff that I fill out, really. Like with my fuel, you might get a bit of workwear, you might get some unleaded for your petrol bits of kit, or put in a motorbike, you never know. But everything that you're going to claim for, put inside, everything that goes through your business, basically. And then this will also calculate VAT. You might not be VAT registered just yet, but one day you might need to be. So this would be good to calculate your VAT. It does it automatically anyway. So then in here, it'll calculate all your ingoings and all your outgoings. This is your purchases. This is the money that you spent in your business. This is the money that you've used to keep your business running. Basically, all your outgoings. Let's say you spent 12 grand a year, and then you want to know whether you've earned more than what you've spent. Well, that will just come in your profit and loss. And if we can just make this a little bit smaller, would be an advantage. So this will automatically populate as well everything down here of what you've paid, money you've paid out for your business and money you've paid in for your business to keep it functioning all year round. And basically it'll give you a little graph as well. And what you want to see on this graph is that the blue lines are bigger than the red lines. If the red line's bigger than the blue lines on all of them, you're doing something wrong. Basically, you're not making money and you're wondering why you skint. You want to be able to have the blue lines bigger than the red lines. And this is something easy to know sort of thing. So in this example, yeah, you're making more money than you're actually spending. So spot on. But just for an example, if we go to December and say we put in here that Ben from, don't worry about that, of the invoice number 1234, and I did a job for, say, I don't know, 50 grand. There we go. Oh, sugar. 50 grand. Might need to be a bit bigger so we can see that. 50 grand, there we go. But then this on your profit and loss, it will be fantastic. You made a shed load of profit. But then what if you haven't filled out your invoices? Because on your purchases, no, it might be in December again that you've got a bill. I forgot to put this bill in from Denman's. and that bill was, let's say, 42 grand. So then you go to your profit loss again and think, yeah, it's leveled out a little bit. But still, the blue is bigger than the red. That's exactly what you want to see. The blue is bigger than the red. If it's not bigger than the red, do something about it. You're not earning enough money. You're not charging enough, possibly. Or something's happening there where you're not making as much money as you're spending. So if it looks like this, let's have a look. Say that was 90 grand. That job cost you. What you had to pay for your materials. What's going to happen there? Well, then basically, yeah, your red's bigger than your blue. But sometimes that might happen with a few months. Your red might be bigger than your blue because you've got ongoing jobs. What you've got are invoice still. As long as you put the invoices in, it'll all coincide up and it'll all come together. And this is what your accountant will want to see. You don't want to give them just a bunch of receipts. You want to be able to give them something that they can look at and go, right, this is the figures which I need to calculate your VAT, to calculate your tax return, and it'll make their life a lot easier. And obviously, they will charge you less.
So with that spreadsheet, you can keep you and your business organised and not have to worry about when that tax year comes around and you think, have I earned any money? Do I have to declare this, declare that? What am I going to do? You can use that spreadsheet to basically fill your tax return out yourself, or you can give that to an accountant and it'll make their life 10 times easier. They'll be able to submit your tax return a lot easier with that information all on there. So a little bit of time each week to fill it in will not only be a bonus and save you money, but then you'll know from that chart at the end as well whether you're making money. So take a look in the show notes below and you'll be able to download that spreadsheet to use for your business to see if you're making money.